On a rainy Mother's Day in 2002, along with 200,000 other people, I went for a walk on a brand new bridge. The Leonard P. Zakim Bunker Hill Memorial Bridge in Boston is brilliant white, all soaring towers and parallel lines, echoing a nearby obelisk and evoking a ship under full sail. It's one of the world's widest cable-stayed bridges, and its roadbed carries 10 lanes of Interstate 93 traffic over the Charles River before diving under the peninsula of the downtown core. A few weeks before it was opened to cars, local residents were invited to cross it on foot. And we came, 5 times as many visitors as were expected, despite the weather. My friend and I waited for hours, huddled under our umbrellas, before we finally made it onto the bridge. We craned our necks to drink it all in, knowing it was almost certainly the one and only time we would get to traverse it at our own speed and under our own power. In retrospect, the organizers probably shouldn't have been quite so surprised at the demand. In 1987, when the Golden Gate Bridge was fully opened to pedestrians to celebrate its 50th anniversary, nearly 300,000 people were on the deck, more weight than bumper-to-bumper traffic, and the organizers had to turn away another 500,000. Conservation biologists sometimes refer to animals like pandas, elephants, and polar bears as charismatic megafauna. Large, easily recognizable, and beloved, they make excellent spokescreatures for wildlife and for their homes. All over the world, charismatic megastructures are the public faces of our collective infrastructural systems. Bridges, of course, but also the soaring spaces of railway stations, from Grand Central Terminal in New York City to the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Terminus in Mumbai. In my hometown of Toronto, the CN Tower, built to be a communications hub, makes the skyline instantly recognizable. The Hoover Dam, in the desert outside Las Vegas, hosts 7 million visitors every year. We love our charismatic megastructures. Their size and complexity might inspire awe, but I think it also has to do with the way that we feel like they belong to all of us, not individually, but together, in much the same way as cathedrals and other sacred spaces. Not for nothing did Joan Didion describe driving on Los Angeles highways as a secular communion. Years after I dragged my friend out in the rain with me to walk on the Zakim Bridge, my nephews came to visit, and we took an amphibious boat tour of the city. The guide told us about that one, now legendary day in May when the bridge was open to pedestrians. I remember, I told them. I was there. My family was unsurprised, because they know I've been fascinated by science and engineering my entire life. The first thing I ever remember wanting to be as a kid was an astronaut. It was the 1970s, the cultural peak of space exploration. By the time I was 10, I wanted to be a nuclear physicist, and this took me all the way through to a degree in engineering physics. Like many women of my generation who went into the field, I had a role model close by, my father. He'd grown up and earned a degree in electrical engineering in a newly independent India before deciding he wanted to see more of the world. In the late 1960s, Canada, like the U.S., was opening its doors to non-European immigrants. My father enrolled in an MBA program at the University of Alberta, and when he graduated, he took a job with Ontario Hydro, the public electrical utility for the province. His young family moved to the outskirts of Toronto, and he started work at the place where he would eventually spend his entire professional career. A few months later, I was born. And a few months after that, in the next town over, one of the first large-scale nuclear power stations in Canada came online. I grew up on a street that ran down to a sandy beach on Lake Ontario, and when we picnicked and played in the water, the plant was easily visible. 8 imposing gray concrete domes and a single massive cylindrical structure on the shoreline.